Now in this first section, the way we do it is basically here. So once you do the first one, and then you're getting in on the second movement, I need to cover, and I need to make sure I'm stepping in using the forearm. Now, you could say different lineages apply the movements, with their own interpretations, but really it's not about lineages, it's about doing it correctly. I don't care which lineage you're from, either you know it or you don't. You understand the application or you don't. With one version, you can stop the attack, with the other, you get knocked out. So let me show you how you would apply the tanda on a training partner. I've seen a lot of Wing Chun masters teach and demonstrate this application. So you can see it on the wooden dummy. There's that section that I just did before, where if no one has taught you the real application, you could go on your entire life practicing the movement thinking that the application would be a 1 and a 2. So that's why a lot of people say, in the form you don't disconnect your technique from the wooden arm, because I'm stopping the punch and then I'm redirecting and I'm going in. And that's why I'm stopping it with the wrist and this and that. The problem with this, let me break it down by, first of all, chances of someone in a street fight attacking you with a vertical punch are slim to none. Most people will punch with their elbow pointing out, with a jab or a cross, this way, not that way. So if Brendan feeds me just a normal regular punch, a cross coming to my face, okay, as he comes in, how can I stop that punch with my bongsa? So then a lot of people will say, just go higher. So he punches and they do what they call a high bongsa. And that makes absolutely no sense. Maybe in another video I can explain why a high bongsa isn't the Wing Chun way of applying a bongsa. But just keeping it for today's video. Number one, you can't stop a regular punch with a bongsa. Number two, by the time you try to apply the tanda, that punch is no longer there. I'll get Brendan to feed me just a regular punch, and not even fast. So he comes in. So the moment I try to do that second movement, that punch is no longer there. So even if you got lucky and you were able to stop the punch from hitting your face with the bongsa, the moment you want to try and get him back, he's no longer there. Or even worse, he's punching with the opposite hand. Maybe he started with this one, and as I'm stopping it, he's coming in with the other hand. So that's why that technique is a big no-no. Now, how can you use the tanda if you were to go underneath the other person's arm is by a setup. Okay, don't forget, in fighting, everything happens too fast. So you don't have time to think, you only have time to react. So now let's say Brendan, instead of feeding me a cross, he's feeding me a jab cross. I'm setting him up, right? So then when the first punch comes in, I just bring it across. So then when I see the second one, I'm intercepting, and then I'm able to counter. He came in with the first one, I got away. Right? I sat on my horse, I got away. He came in with that one, I intercept, and then I can go in. Now, Brendan is a tall guy. I can't stop anyone's punch with the wrist. I can only stop it with the forearm. It only makes sense stopping a strong person's punch with my frame, not the wrist. So when that jab cross comes in, I'm stopping this one with the forearm, and then I'm able to attack the floating ribs with my palm strike. So that is the way you were to apply that technique and be successful. Now let's say he's not just feeding me a jab cross. Let's say he's feeding a kick and a punch. So once again, I use the setup. He kicks, I set it up by stepping away, then I can go in with my tanda. He comes in, then I can counterattack. Moving away, guarding my face, and then you can easily apply this technique. All right, so guys, next time you work on your wooden dummy form, think of the application and use common sense. All right, so guys, if you haven't checked out our previous video, I'll post a card up here so that way you can check it out. And don't forget, get my free introductory applied Wing Chun course so that way you can take your Wing Chun to the next level. Guys, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.